Hello, hope you are doing good. So in this video, we'll be understanding on how to use the new system which we'll be using for our NPS feedback collection. The system is called as Qualtrics. We'll be using this system to collect feedback from our customer and also manage the huddle systems. Once this customer has given the feedback post a sales or a service or a test drive, the data is being stored on the Qualtrics dashboard. So in this video, we'll be mainly learning on how to navigate through this dashboard and use the new system. So let's get started on firstly how to log in into your branch Qualtrics system. Firstly, on Google, you need to search for Qualtrics login. Click on the first link called as Login Qualtrics, where in which you can put the username and the password. Once you add the username or the password and click on sign in, it will ask you for an OTP. This OTP can either be coming on your registered phone number or your registered email address. Once you put the access code and log in, you will be redirected to the Qualtrics platform, which will look something like this. But before you come on this page, it will ask you to accept certain terms and conditions for Qualtrics. After clicking on accept button, you will see the reporter analytics page and the huddle management page. On the right hand side top in blue, you will also be seeing your branch name followed by the branch code and whether it's a part of sales or service. Now let's get started on the two dashboards. So on the left hand side, you will have two dashboards, that is reporter analytics and the huddle management dashboard. The reporter analytics dashboard would be mainly having data regarding the customer feedback. All the feedback given by your customers for your specific branch will be visible in the report and analytics page. Second is the huddle management dashboard, where you will see the feedback given by the dissatisfied customers and the customers who have asked for a callback preference as yes, which means the customer has given their acceptance so that you can call them on their given phone number to understand what is the issue about. So let's get firstly started on the report and analytics dashboard. Once you click on report and analytics dashboard, you will be redirected to a page which will look something like this. On the left hand side, you will see the different pages which will have different visuals or data. Starting off with the overview page, you will see the total number of feedback collected for this quarter. The NPS score, how many customers out of the total number of feedbacks have asked for a callback preference as yes, followed with the breakdown of how many of them were promoters, that are satisfied customers. Passives, who are those which are not satisfied but also not dissatisfied. Lastly, it's the detractor, are the ones who are not satisfied with the sales or the service experience. There are further visualizations which you can see. For example, you see average rolling net promoter score, wherein which you can see your NPS score over time. You have widgets and filters which you can use to see data of a specific time. So let's say you want to see data instead of this quarter, you wanted to change it to this year to see the data that has been collected for this one specific year, that is 2024. So as you see, the numbers have changed. Same way, you will have option to go view data for just your specific business if you are just part of Triumph or any other business unit. But let's say you are an ASM, RM, or a circle head. You will have access to the businesses you are associated to. For example, right now, if I click on business name, as I'm viewing it from the RM perspective, I'll be able to see all the business units that have been linked to me. Although if you are a staff of a specific branch, you can see the data or the feedback given by a certain customer by using the chassis number, the registration number, or the customer ID. There are other advanced filters which also you can use, although you will only see data for your specific branch if you are a staff member of one specific branch. For example, if you are part of Autogenica, you will be only seeing data for Autogenica sales data. Although if you're part of Autogenica service, you will be only seeing data for the service feedback. Next, we'll go to the segment and scope, where you will see other such visualizations. You will also be able to use filters over here, as you saw on the overview page. Right now, you will be seeing data for all the regions. But let's say you're just part of an East region, you will be only seeing data for that one specific region, as you are just a part of the East region. We have the engagement summary. On this page, you will be able to see how is the response rate of your surveys that have been triggered to the customer. Let's say you have sent around 100 surveys out to various different customers, out of which 67 have only given the survey. So you'll get a trend of how many responses have been collected over time. Next, we have the NPS feedback page. On this page, you will get a quick glance of all the feedback that have been collected based on the filter that you have applied. For example, for this year, I've got 5348 responses, and I will be seeing the data collected for all of them. Next, we have the KPI satisfaction for Triumph Showroom. So based on your business unit, you will be seeing the various L2 and L3 drivers and the feedback collected for them. Green is for indicates the promoter, orange indicate the passive, and the red indicate the detractor. You can also export a certain widget by clicking on these three dots and click on export. You can select the format you want it in. You can select CSV, JPG, or a PDF format accordingly, or even an Excel or a TSV format. Once you click on this and click on export, the export will be generated in your local systems itself. You can also export an entire dashboard by clicking on the export download dashboard and click on download dashboard, and you can export all the pages, that is overview page, segment scores, engagement summary, NPS feedback, KPI satisfaction. All the data will be exported out in a PDF format. We can also select various other ways, that is CSV, Excel, or a PPT format too. This is all about the report and analytics dashboard. As I mentioned earlier, this will be to only view that the data collected over time by the system post the feedback is given by the customer. Now let's go back on the home page. You can click on the four lines on the left hand side top and click on home. Now once you come back on the home page, you can go back to the huddle management dashboard. So like I mentioned earlier, the huddle management dashboard will be mainly used to view data for those customers who are not satisfied and ask for a callback preference as yes. That means the staff of that specific branch needs to connect with those customers and understand the root cause and make sure that their experience is taken care of and understood well. Same way we had filters for the response and analytics dashboard, we same way have filters which you can use over here. We have various pages on the left hand side. You can easily pin and unpin the page to view the data more clearly. Although if you want to switch back, you can click on the drop down and again pin the pages tab. You can also export the dashboard or a specific widget accordingly. You can also email a dashboard to yourself or someone you want to send out the results on an recurring base, or you can email it right away. Let's say if you don't want to log in into Qualtrics and you want to, although you want to see the data on every Monday, how is your branch doing? In that scenario, you can use the recurring email so that Qualtrics will send you the export of the dashboard on the selected date, let's say on every Monday at a specific time. You can select the specific time zone accordingly and click on, and you can add certain message template and click on attach report. This will send you the export of the dashboard also with the link of the dashboard. You can schedule such emails so that Qualtrics sends you the reports accordingly at the right time. Starting off with the huddle summary, this will give you a quick overview of the huddles that have been created. Right now, the NPS score is -25 as you are seeing on the screen. The callback preference, that means 8 customers have asked for a callback as yes, out of which 7 are still open, 0 are in progress, 1 is in inner loop resolution, 0 are in completed stage, and 0 are closed, up to date. Now let's say you want to manage those 7 open tickets. You can go on the Huddle utility page to take an action on the open tickets, the in progress tickets, or the inner loop resolution tickets. Right now, I see 8 huddles over here, out of which 1 is in inner loop resolution stage and 7 are in open stage. So let's say if I just want to view the huddle, I can click on the link for that specific huddle, which will redirect me to a specific page to see the data regarding that specific huddle. You can do that for any huddle by clicking on this link. Let's say I click on the feedback where I've got a 9, which is considered as a promoter. So I would click on the link And once I reach on the page, I will see two sections on the Huddle Huddle actioning page. On the left hand side, you will see the details. That means you will see the Huddle name, the L2 drivers that the customer has selected. That means as he's a 9, he's recommending the service time, cost of service, quality of service, and various other L2s. Followed by that, we also have the L3s, which he's satisfied with. We'll be also seeing the other data that is being pulled by the central systems. As the customer has asked for a callback preference as yes, you can see the phone number from the huddle detail itself and directly call the customer accordingly. Meanwhile, you can also see the customer profile, the comments. You can also add certain comments for your own specific understanding and also view the customer survey response in real time. Like what did the customer actually select? As I mentioned earlier, the NPS score was 9. So as you're seeing, based on the recent service interaction, how likely are you to recommend JTAG to your friend or colleague? And he has selected 9 over here. And he has selected the vehicle delivered as per promise time for service and cost of service. Right now, as we are seeing the service huddle. Same way, you will be only seeing the huddle for your specific business unit. So basically on the left hand side, you will see the response that has been given by the customer. And on the right hand side, there are certain follow-up questions that you will need to be filling upon. Over here in the search column, you need to start typing your name. If your name starts with an S, for example, you just start with an S, and from the drop down which comes down, you can select your specific name. If the callback is done, you can click on yes and fill in the details further. As this is a promoter, there aren't much questions that you can answer. Although, if it was a detractor, you will have further questions on the follow-up questions. You can fill in the customer response, caller response, the root cause identification from the dropdown itself. You can add up to 6 RCS in a single time. Suppose that it will ask you if the loop closure was completed with the customer. If yes, you can click on yes. If no, you won't be asked further questions and you can click on save. Although this huddle will be going into in progress state in this scenario. You can fill up additional details based on the callback with the customer, and you can add an inner loop resolution. If you click on no, not now, so in this scenario and click on save, in this scenario, the huddle will be going into inner loop resolution status. That means the inner loop resolution is yet to be added by you. Although if you click on yes, you will be asked further questions of what was the inner loop resolution provided, who was the responsible person, and the implementation date can be selected from the calendar. Once you have completed all the questions in the follow-up questions, you can click on save to update the status of the huddle from open to completed stage. This change would also be reflected on the dashboard once you click on the save button. So let's say if I click on save, in this scenario, the open ticket for this specific feedback will change from open to completed stage. There are different pages. For example, you have inner loop resolution. Over here on this page, you will only see those tickets for whom the inner loop resolution is still to be added. So again, I need to click on the link, which will redirect me to the right specific question, the right specific huddle, wherein which I can see the details that I had filled earlier. Earlier, I had selected no, not now, as I did not have an inner loop resolution. But now I have come back in the system and want to add the inner loop resolution. I will click on yes, and I can add the inner loop resolution accordingly and click on save. Once I complete the entire follow-up questions, the status of the huddle will change from inner loop resolution to the completed stage. ASM review. So this will be accessible to the ASM. The ASMs will be only be able to access the huddles for those specific branches which are linked to them, and not all the data from the branches which they are not responsible for. Let's say in the follow-up survey, you have said that it's not resolvable at the dealer end. In that scenario, you can click on no and click on send to ASM. This will assign this entire huddle to the ASM for his review. And all those huddles will be visible to the ASM on this one specific page. We have the huddle calendar, wherein which you will be able to see all the tickets that have been completed. We also have the huddle pre-read and the RCI resolution. The huddle pre-read is like a summary to view all the tickets that have been completed, followed by the RCI and the resolution. That's all on the navigation and explanation on how to navigate into Qualtrics. Thank you so much.